Okay, the date is November 22nd, 2020, the year of the PRC virus. But more importantly, today we're going to do something entirely different. It's not a video on trucks, it's not a video on camping, it's not a video on campfires. It's going to be a video on cooking. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make homemade noodles for Thanksgiving. Going to use my grandma's recipe, which turned out to be my mom's recipe, which turned out to be our recipe. And we're going to make homemade noodles today. We're going to get everything measured out and get them rolled out. Let them dry a little bit, and probably won't cut the noodles till probably tomorrow or Tuesday. You need to let them dry, not completely dry, but pretty dry. And it's not my first time, but it's probably my first time by myself. Of course, Sandy's in the wings here, that if I need any assistance, I'm sure she'll jump in. But here we go, and I'll show you what we're doing here. Here's the recipe. Take a look at it. I think it's a pretty simple noodle recipe. Egg noodles. And step over here. I'm going to mix them up in the old KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to measure out the ingredients to start with. I think we're going to double the batch and do that twice to make it simpler. That way you can get everything rolled out and then start another batch and get them rolled out. Not that I'm an expert, but that seems like a common sense thing to me to do. So with that said, I'm going to get things measured out. So we're going to double it. So I put 4 eggs in first. Got the mixer running, get them mixed up. And following the recipe, next thing will be a cup and a half of flour. But I got to double that. So all you math whiz out there, that means 3 cups of flour. Then calls for 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to double that. Be 2 teaspoons of salt. And for the vinegar, it says 2 teaspoons. We're going to double that and make it 4. And if we need any help with moisture, we add just a little bit of water as needed. So that's really, the vinegar is the only moisture in there, plus the eggs. Let me get this measured out. Well, here's the first batch. I'm going to get a second opinion on what we need to do. I probably need to spread out a little bit more at a time. Add a little water to the dough that's left in the pan, in the mixer. And we'll kind of see where we're at here. So I will get back with you. So my beautiful assistant has helped me out here. We'll kind of square it up a little bit to make them easier to cut. And we'll add the edges back into the dough we're finishing up. And we'll roll some more out. Oh. Here's what the noodle dough looks like. Kind of got out here on parchment paper to kind of let them air dry a little bit. You see they're just a little bit tacky, because what we're going to do is we'll kind of stack them 2 or 3 at a time and just slice them. I'm going to use a case chef's knife, and then when we get done, we'll they should be good. And let them set out a while. We'll put a little flour on, let them set out a while more, and let them completely dry. And then probably put them in the refrigerator, since they were done with raw eggs. And then that's pretty much it. Like I said, the slices were done with a pizza cutter. And I'll go back in here and show you the kitchen here in a minute. Too big of a mess. kitchen sand mixer doesn't look too bad. Cabinet, a little bit of flour in the cabinet, which you're going to have because we roll it out. We'll put a little flour down, roll it, and maybe even flip it over the dough as we're doing it. It was hard to do with me, my dough in my hand, so I couldn't really show you that, but just roll it. Try to do that again, and we can show you later. And pretty much just clean up just a few dishes. The noodles have been drying about 4 or 5 hours maybe. They're kind of a texture like this. See, we've got them over here drying out. Lay them on parchment paper. Now I'm using a cutting board, sharp knife. We've got a case chef knife. This is where I just cut them like this. Whatever size you want your noodles, I guess is what it amounts to. Our family likes them pretty narrow, not real thick. So that's just kind of where you roll them out, and then when you cut them up, you saw us cutting them up in lengths with a pizza cutter, and then we just let them set for 4 or 5 hours. They won't be dry enough that you can cut them and not stick, but you don't want them too dry that they'll actually crack. Well, just like dry noodles you find in the grocery store. You don't want them like that because then you can't slice them. Just watch your fingers. Notice, always keep your hand down like that. Safety tip. Less chance of cutting the finger. And a good sharp knife. And a good eye. In my case, I had to put mine on. You're going to have some odds and ends. Just keep cutting till they're gone. And just here, I'll stack these. Right here a little bit. Kind of keep cutting. This is a bigger piece of dough I rolled out. So these were a little longer. It just takes a little time. A little bit of a mess with the flour, but nothing, not too bad. And that's pretty much it. And I think, don't we have more in the kitchen? Or is this it? This is it? Okay. And that's it. God bless you. God bless America. Say a prayer for somebody today. See ya.